Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for what could be the last game of the International 4 Chinese qualifiers presented by Monster Energy. Ben, they're up against it now. CIS, they were always going to be the underdogs coming into this playoffs, but now they find themselves in the worst possible position. Not only down 0-2, but they lost to LGD doing something different, too.
And they're really tired.
Tough position, and they're really tired as well.
So, well, at least they get to go to Seattle, regardless. You gotta look at the
Are
bright
they
side.
a dead man walking now? Is that the verdict?
Kind of. I mean, I think it takes them pulling something radically different rather than executing a strategy that they've already run well. Because I think it's just like very demoralizing for them. They're very fatigued. So I think they just have to kind of go in with the mentality that they just have to surprise LGD. Because LGD they're just so good at playing against what CIS has been throwing at them.
That was a surprising draft. I don't think LGD saw it coming. It's just it didn't work.
If they had something else other than Wraith King, I would have been a lot more on board with it.
I think they could have just gone AM. Would have been a much
AM would have been much better. I think it would have been more difficult to aggro try, but it would still been more. It would have still been better.
At that point, like to me, CIS is a team that should get good trades. I don't think they should try to just flat out win all 3 lanes. They should just get good trades out of the lanes.
Yeah, I think you have to like slowly, incrementally beat out LGD and like
squeeze them a little bit.
Squeeze them a little bit. Yeah.
All right. With that being said, guys, the draft's underway. Game 3 has begun. LGD leading 2-0 in the best of 5, and away we go. On the Radiant side is LGD. They had the first overall pick. They'll stick to their guns here. The bans are the same. CIS did change things up. They banned Lich in the first stage.
I don't feel like Lich was that big of a deal. Like, if they didn't pick a melee carry, then Lich wouldn't have destroyed them.
Yeah. The Lich only worked because it was a Wraith King carry.
Yeah.
The denies were slightly annoying, but I think they had already won the tri-lane just from having any ranged nuker show up, whether it was a Lich or not.
It didn't really, like, help against the pushes that much. The Frost Armor was...
That Frost Armor, dude.
It owned the Desolator.
That's true.
That's about it, though.
That was that one fight bottom where Wraith King almost one-shotted the Lich, and then you saw how slow he was, and the Moonlight Shadow Lich just walks away. That was a sad time to be a Wraith King. Okay, well, draft will continue from here. LGD removing the clockwork. I didn't really quite feel his impact that game. He snowballed early. He got that one kill.
It depends on the lineup. They're drafting a lineup that's not as well equipped to deal with the clock. Like a Mirana, you know, can just leave out Lycan kind of trapped in there with them. So it's I don't feel like clockwork made a big difference at all too, similar to Lich. Like it was only in that specific game.
He is good at countering split push if you have the follow up, so they could like hook the Lycan and then someone else can maybe bring him down. But as for CIS, going for the Invoker early here. Curious to see if they just bust out the AM or something along those lines. The Morphling, the Naga's been banned. They'll go for a Prophet. So CIS, maybe we see black on the Nature's Prophet even.
Maybe we see them with a super greedy draft like game number 1.
So the way they're drafting right now is looking at least like they can tower trade effectively. They could go for double Necro Book. And LGD will say, hey, you've got Cold Snap, and that's pretty much it to lock down a Storm. So we're just going to snap it up right away. CIS will go X. All right.
Axe Dazzle is very good. Axe
destroys Lycan in the laning stage. That is a terrible matchup.
So LGD, I think the most important concern is making sure Lycan doesn't get matched up with Axe right now. So either that means just having good solos so that he can jungle, just being able to predict CIS to the point where it's just going to cost him a lot to rotate, but that matchup is just absolutely atrocious.
You can run Lycan mid maybe this game. Maybe they run like the Storm or Tide's not too great. He's better than Lycan against the Axe, but maybe they even run a Storm safe lane. Tide off lane, Lycan mid.
Interesting. I mean, they could just always throw Lycan in jungle. I think that's and just the threat of Enchantress. Like, it's very difficult to try and take control of the opponent's jungle if you don't have it secure from minute 0, because Enchantress will just punish you so hard. So, I think LGD's okay here versus the Axe. CIS just kind of have to have like very good prediction and movement. And
the Enchantress is really the key though, because Invoker and Prophet are both very gankable for Enchantress. You have a Tide in one of those lanes. Even a Lycan might be enough if they get the right creeps and just right-click with Howl damage. So, yeah, if she goes aggressive and CIS don't call it correctly, they go aggressive as well, then the Enchantress could be the one who just finds all the openings, picks off the solos multiple times, and wins them the game.
I think Tidehunter is decent here. They don't have any BKB heroes yet on CIS, and Although the Anchor Smash won't be terribly useful because they don't have that much right-click damage.
Yeah, X doesn't care about that. The spin is not affected by that Anchor Smash. So.
Yeah, and like Dazzle's physical damage too, it's gonna just chew through him. So it's not the best pick, but it does give them a lot of team fight. And LGD, that's usually what they fall back on when they're behind, and when they're ahead, they just force the issue with a superior team fight.
Witch Doctor's the ban for LGD, one of the stronger pushing supports. We've seen that Witch Doctor Dazzle combo a few times, and it is scary, especially with heroes that can take towers early, which Prophet Invoker, especially a Quas Exhort Invoker, most certainly can. As for LGD, they'll be looking for probably a second support. We have not seen any support Tide, even since he's returned to the metagame. And CIS go Crystal Maiden, so they get a good initiating support with the Nova, as well as a decent roamer.
And decent sustain, too, if they want to push.
Yeah, works well with Dazzle's heal, in particular.
So LGD looks like they might be trying to go like a 4 create space for the 1, and that 1 being the Lycanthrope. So they just need a secondary support.
There's Bane, there's Shadow Demon, Soul Catcher, pretty nice to have against Axe. There's some good setup heroes if they want to roam with the Enchantress. They could even do a dual roam, and they'll go Silencer. All right.
Silencer's interesting. It's kind of the Empire-esque draft where Storm Spirit zips in, Silencer, Globals, and if you fight, you get Ravage. If you don't, you just lose 1 instantly at the start of the fight.
I wonder if they even... where they're going to lane the Silencer. That's my main question. Do they actually look to put him against the tri-lane?
Yeah, I think so. Curse is pretty good. Dazzle's spells are a little expensive. Axe generally doesn't get Berserkers called that early in. They have a CM to somewhat counter the Curse if they want to do that, but he's still decent. He's ranged at least. They need more range.
Alright, and it's even going to be Black playing the Axe this game, so really wants to prove something as far as versatility goes. He couldn't quite do it on the puck last game, but CIS, backs against the wall. They need a reverse all kill here if they want to directly qualify for TI4 today. They'd have to win 3 in a row. Anything less, and they'll be going to the wildcard playoff. LGD in a comfortable position, but not yet fully secure. And with that said, we introduce our teams on the Radiant side. The heavy favorites. Yao on that Tidehunter for LGD. DD playing the Enchantress. DDC the Silencer. That puts Lin onto the Lycan. And last but not least, it's Xiao Tuji, the Little Rabbit, on the Storm Spirit. They do defend their jungle at level 1. CIS. We'll introduce them now. Black on the Axe, as mentioned. Demons, not to be confused with Demon, will be playing the Dazzle. The Crystal Maiden being handled by Io, known mostly for his support Mirana. June on the Nature's Prophet, who's apparently taking some clothes off nowadays, and that leaves Inflame as the solo mid invoker, maybe going the Quas Wex build.
Do you see this axe?
It's bigger than most heroes. Yeah, I've had some comments about that last time.
Oh my goodness. It's only an uncommon too. Wow.
It's
Mountain Splitter.
Not kidding. That's bigger than CM.
So first things first, CIS will be able to scout out the lane that LGD is going to throw bottom, which means that they know that Axe is probably in the right position.
So it is the Lycan mid that I was suggesting as a possibility.
Yeah, LGD also knows that CIS is going to do that, so they can kind of try and just rotate him around. Axe going mid, I don't think they can rotate him that early, just because Invoker really needs levels, and if they try and put him bottom and instead of Black, then they're not really going to get enough out of it.
The key thing for LGD here is that the Axe will get early levels, so we'll probably see the Howl damage leveled up quickly, and that's where the tri-lane can, with 2 ranged heroes, 3 ranged heroes with Enchantress, can actually win, even against this Axe pick. And already the creeps coming in. Howl deployed is Xiao Tuji, just looking for some last hits. It looks to be a Quas Wex Invoker as well. Inflame went early Blades of Attack. Generally your Quas Wex build, so... Quas Exhort Invoker is a tough matchup for Lycan, at those early levels at least, but with this build, he's not even that worried.
So Enchantress will not have any of her spawns blocked early. Great for LGD. What creep is she going to get? Looks like a Hellbear Smasher. Not the best versus CIS's lineup, just because they have plenty of sustain to fend off any sort of neutral harass, but could potentially look to smoke gank mid. But again, Lycan's not the greatest partner to try and get early kills with. So all in all, CIS have a slightly better early game, especially considering the potential teleport, global teleport from Nature's Prophet. So LGD has to be very, very careful to not take heavy casualties early.
Not really a fun lane against that solo Tidehunter. Yeah, you're ranged, but it's so hard not to just get caught as he walks in for the Anchor Smash. And We can see Tide's actually keeping up in terms of CS and still has 6 tangos and a salve. And in fact, he's just driving June off of the lane already.
So aggressive.
And that anchor smash too strong, and he can almost guarantee himself this Hellbear Smasher. He'll secure it there with the anchor smash, and the Prophet had better make things happen bottom because he is not going to keep this Tide down by himself.
Yep. Demons does have an OBS and a sentry, so he will be very well aware when he is going to rotate. He's actually blocked off one of the spawns thus far. DD does grab an illusion ring. He does have a smoke in his inventory, but no good partner. There's no way you're going to kill an Invoker without some sort of disable.
That Howl damage, man. Yeah, they would need, like, they would honestly need 3 Enchantress creeps, I want to say, to get the kill. Or, like, in level 6, which is quite a long ways off. And Inflame, has he taken a point in Wex just yet? Yeah, he has. So we're going to see Quas-Wex Invoker. Not going for... Well, usually what I would say when you see teams go Prophet and Invoker, it's usually Quas-Exort.
I would say Quas-Exort is slightly better here, too. I think it's generally better versus, like, a Silencer Tide, too. Because you'll have 4 spears to try and pluck away at them early, and yeah, you just need the damage from...
And having double Necro Book is just so nice. You just split push so fast. LGD are forced more into a defensive posture. Top lane, we did see the Tidehunter starting to take more damage as Prophet levels up. He was forced to use a salve, but already up to 800 gold. Still your leader in terms of net worth. In fact, all 3 of their cores are on top. The aggressive Tri-Lane not doing much, but that might change now as Black dives in looking for Xiaotuji, and he's not dead yet. Actually, will go down to the end. That last right click, the poison damage, I believe, securing the kill. Now Black spinning to win. It'll be a 1-for-1 thus far. They might lose more as the Enchantress creep gets frostbitten. Nearly kills them off. Curse of the Silent deployed. I believe that's only level 1, and not going to be enough for the kill. At least not yet. DDC, there's going to be a wraparound. Axe is coming. Where's that spin? He gets nuked. Still not using anything yet. Now the last word deployed, and they're going to pull in June. It's a very early rotation here, and, well, the quick respawns. Black's still alive, though. He keeps on spinning. He keeps on manning up, looking for more on Xiaotuji, but he won't quite find it. The Dazzle Heal keeps him alive. In fact, they're going to turn around. They're going to kill Xiaotuji. It's an absolute bloodbath in the bottom lane, and CIS, they emerge victorious.
Nice teleport in for a Nature's Prophet. Really turned that fight around for them.
I like that move a lot because he's not going to win top lane, so you might as well go and secure.
And I like how Axe is playing super aggressively. Like, I complained a little bit about Black's lack of aggression last game, and this game he's super manly on the Axe. Granted, he has the Axe Dazzle backing him up, but still, he needs to play aggressively.
Yeah, they're playing this one right now. The Berserker is called DDC, gets absolutely eviscerated. And that was a nice play by Black. He works his way through the trees, and he draws the creep aggro first. So the creeps are following him, gives him a better chance of spinning. Then he gets the call off on Silencer, and that's all she wrote. And LGD, their tri-lane's kind of falling apart here. I guess that's an understatement. It's almost completely fallen apart at this point.
Why doesn't Flame have Ghost Walk invoked? I guess, I don't know if we missed a gank in mid. DD looks like he smoked top, looking for a kill.
Well, Enchantress was bottom earlier. Ty doesn't left top, so I think he just... Maybe the Lycan just did a lot of damage to him. Not sure. Well, the smoke will break. Top lane, and it's at the right time for June as he just casually phase boots out of that one. So he'll dodge the gank. He's almost hitting level 6, and this is where the tri-lane can just completely self-destruct for LGD if they're not careful. It's up to the Tide to carry a TP. He's got to be ready for these tower dives. And CIS also have to be careful in their own right, and indeed you see Tide already with the early TP scroll picked up.
I think this is the right decision for them. Just don't fight the try. Just get levels on Storm, try and get him level 6 so they can't engage on you. They have no stuns until Black Axe gets a blink dagger, or no disables rather, and they can just split push to get a free tower on top. Tide getting very close to that mech, and then he can be the tank that they need to deal with this big fat axe.
And Tide's got the TP as well, so if they play defensively bottom, they force CIS either to not go for kills or to dive for kills, and that's where Tide can turn it around. Meanwhile, Xiaotuji getting close to the level 6 you mentioned. They do pick up a Vlad's on the Lycan, who is farming well mid. 28 and 4, he's rotated to the jungle a few times. Now DD's in the enemy jungle, but basically bottom lane looks like we're going to have a bit of a dive here. Going for the Silencer. Can't quite get in range. Although, with a poison touch, Demons looks like he got fogged. And at the same time, Enchantress is like, we're getting aggressive in this dire jungle. But there's Trans scouting her out, so DD not going to find the opening. Storm should be almost level 6 now, as he did get one wave, he's going to get another now. Yeah, there you go, level 6, so... They've done a nice job of just salvaging and not trying to force try on try when it clearly wasn't working.
Yeah, and Storm Spirit has actually got an early ring of protection too. They do need a little bit more armor versus CIS's, but at the same time, Lycan has one, so maybe a little bit of overkill in the armor department.
They're going to TP in the Lycan. Now the Storm can go for a pull here in black. It's a lot of magic damage coming against him. He's got to be careful. He goes for the call, but Xiao Tuji anticipates and dodges it. Does he zip out again? In comes the Tide, looking for a Ravage. Does he blow it just for black? He's got a Gush. He's not going to use the Ravage just yet. An Anchor Smash probably will end Black's life. The Tornado comes through. The Ravage connects on two. Black not dead just yet, though. He's been graved and kept alive for the time being. In fact, Poison Touch slowed on down. While this is happening, they're also chasing the Silencer. He's quite low. DDC. Will he fall to the Invoker? One more right click after this one would secure the kill. He gets it. DDC will fall, and now Tide casually walks through. They're pushing mid in the meantime, but they will lose Yao as well. That's the Ravage blown. It's a 7 for 2. Now they get the kill in the end. 7 for 2 lead. They gave up a tier 1 mid, but still well worth it, I feel. And with Ravage down, CIS can go for some more towers of their own.
Yeah, Yao, he was just caught in a pickle there. He really wanted to kill the Axe, and then he was graved, and then he wasted Ravage, tried to chase a little bit too far. Got
Wolves.
slowed and kinded by... Yeah.
Wolves were chasing CM, but looks like she'll be okay.
So they really need global on Silencer, I feel like, so they can't grave to save during the Ravage. Their combo hasn't yet come online yet, and Storm Spirit is the key piece for them to start winning the team fight. CM and Dazzle. Dazzle's actually level 6 too, so Demons has picked up very, very good level just because they've gotten so many kills in the bottom lane. And Lin, he hasn't come online yet, and not really enough space created for him to do Roshan or even split push any of the lanes.
The other nice thing for CIS is they will have a very fast blink on Axe, unless he dies right now. He's at 2124 gold, and with one more creep, he'll have the blink, at which point he can be the initiator. Tide mid lane will lose all his mana, more or less to the EMP. Does have Arcane Boots. He is building towards an early mech, so that is going to really secure their 5-man, but
wow.
Black went in bottom. He delivered the chop on Xiao
That was without a
Tuji.
blink. I have no idea how that happened.
The chop watch is 1, according to K-pop.
Well, that's a blink dagger. This is really scary for LGD
This is
here.
scary even for the Lycanthrope. Like, Lycan normally very safe to split push, but you get this early blink on X, and he's got to be cautious. Time for Rat Dota for LGD until they get global, and only when Tide is mech and Ravage do they look to take fights. They might find someone in the jungle here, though. Prophet has been caught out in the dire jungle. There's a zip in to start this one off. June just gets it incinerated, and nice pick off there for LGD.
Yeah, nice scouting by the Lycan Wolves there, and Nature's probably not that much damage done, and CIS, they haven't just given up this bottom lane yet. Enchantress has been pretty much a non-factor. This is Enchantress' time to shine, 0 to 10 minutes. After that, she levels off a lot.
She did take 2 towers for the team. She took the tier 1 top, she took the tier 1 mid, and she helped slow down the feed in the bottom lane. But it's been hard to lane against CIS. Their tri-lane is very scary. Here comes the rotation now. The Prophet summons some trance, and the push will commence. Axe always available to threaten for that blink call, though. You're blinking into a Tide Hunter with a Buckler, with a Ravage online, so it's a little bit risky. Meanwhile, Silencer just trying to secure the level 6 mid lane. He's not joining the team for this. EMP comes through. The call is there. That's going to remove all of Yao's mana. He can stick up here. He's got 6 stick charges, but the Tornado comes through. The dunk's there. It's 1 dunk. It's a double dunk for Black. Looking for the triple. Will he find it? The triple dunk! He jams it in! Will he be on fire? It's an ultra dunk! Black finds the opening at CIS. Now, just stomping LGD. They needed almost a miracle, it felt, after game 2, and they might have found it here in this X pick.
So many dunks.
That's 5 chops in 10 minutes.
Good job, Black.
I'll admit, Ben, I was a little skeptical about their versatility, but I think CIS are, I'm happy to say, they're proving me wrong here.
And I'm not really sure why Lycan joined that fight. He should not be fighting at all. He should just be split pushing to the max, forcing CIS to give up that bottom lane and split push out lanes. They're not good at split pushing out lanes. They're really good at fighting early with Black's blink dagger, and they just have to take them out of their element there. Silencer, not yet level 6. He really, really, really needs level 6.
He was trying to get it too. He was sitting mid farming, but he just fell so far behind after the laning stage that he's just got insane amounts of catch up to do. And Axe will get a Vanguard. This is actually a decent Vanguard game. You're up against Enchantress creeps, you are up against Wolves, and you're snowballing very hard early. So you were flaming Vanguard last game, and I think it was a very questionable item choice, but this is about the ideal time to get it.
It's okay. It's aight. I still think the bigger problem will arise soon when they have the Ravage, the Storm Spirit Zip, and the Silencer, and they just kind of ignore the Axe.
That's
So-
where he's got to find good calls. And he does have Invoker to set him up. The EMP's been a problem for Tidehunter. Yao, that last fight, was very low on mana after the EMP. He could have sticked up maybe Ravage, but Tornado found him, and after that, he died. He got dunked.
Yeah, he can't just walk up. This is where I prefer the Blink Dagger over the mech, just because it's just so difficult to walk up to Ravage against competent teams.
The problem is who's going to build your mech otherwise.
You can just build it after.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
They really need like good initiates. If Tidehunter dies early, they lose a team fight, like almost certainly.
It's very hard for them to get those kills without global, though. Like if Tide had a blink until now, it wouldn't have. They could just grave after the blink Ravage.
Yeah, they really need to kill Dazzle early on in fights, or kill someone else in the under the cover of Global Silence.
There's your mech for the Tide, and I'm sure the blink will be the very next choice for him. Black up to another 1,200 gold, almost. So if we want to see the early Ags for him or a Blade Mail, he can work towards it soon. I'd like to see CIS keep this pressure up, though, and the Tornado will come through. They found the Lycan. They can actually Frostbite here, and I think they might kill him even through his ultimate. The Cold Snap bringing him low. Not enough to kill him off just yet. Prophet ult was available. Did it just come off cooldown? He had it. I'm surprised he didn't drop it there.
Yeah, that would have killed him.
Yeah, it might have come up towards the end of the fight. Didn't check it before the engagement broke out, but Lycan ult's on cooldown. That means Silencer is on an island, and well, this island will have population 0 very soon. They're actually going to rotate the entire team in. Oh, Dunk was attempted, but he did get off the global in the nick of time. Now Yao joins the fray. He can Ravage this one. He's still trying to hold on to it. He wants to save it for a better opportunity. Axe come charging in. Where's that Ravage? No mana for it. He sticks up. He still doesn't have it. He's got the arcane boats here. He's not using them, but he still doesn't have Ravage mana. He's going to fall. Yao, I believe a few more right clicks will bring him down. The blink, the spin, and the kill secured. Now they're chasing DD. They've already lost 3, and they're going to lose the tower too. This Tide just can't keep his mana pool up. EMP too strong.
Yeah, and Flame's playing very, very well, and he has the early mech to augment their team fight in. Now, LGD in a really, really tough position. Nature's Prophet has a Midas. He's farming away. Probably number 1 in terms of net worth, going for a Shadow Blade. So their gank is just actually, Axe is just ridiculous in terms of net worth chart right now.
Well,
Wow.
he's up to 1,300. I believe he bought something on the courier as well for the Axe. It should be flying out. It's an Ogre Club. Well, BKB's not bad here, but I always love to see that Ags, so we'll see. It's Chinese Dota. Wouldn't surprise me if it's a BKB.
So Lycan still needs to farm out. I think he did well by not fighting there. They're going to lose towers, but at least they don't have to give up kills in the process. Not sure what DDC was doing there.
Oh, the Silencer?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's been caught again. I think you've cursed him here, Ben. They'll go in on him now. The Tornado's going to clip him. That connects on 2, and DDC could be dunked. They're going to reserve the dunk for a rainy day. It looks like Demons gets off the grave. He almost fell down. Now the Invoker comes in. He throws out a Deafening Blast. He actually connects on 3, and Black marches forward, looking for the dunk. The mech's there to help keep Xiaotuji in fighting condition, but now he's out of mana. Prepare to be slammed. Black finds one. He's looking for more. It'll be DD. Next on the list, isolated and double dunked. Easy for Black.
7-0 and 9. We are going to see a godlike Axe very, very soon.
Wow. And the NBA Jam quotes will be coming out if this game goes on too much longer. And they'll push down this tier 2 mid. Ravage still cooling down. Global still cooling down. And LGD, unable to win fights even with those. Certainly not going to win them without.
Tidehunter just seems so ineffective this game. 0, 3, and 0 on a Tidehunter. And it's not like he hasn't used Ravages either.
It's just when you give up all these early towers, the enemy team gets a fast mech, they get tanky, and EMP has... There was at least 2 fights where an early Ravage could have turned it, potentially, but just hasn't had mana for it. And then when he does get it off, it's just not at the right time.
Yeah, very, very good play from Invoker. He's just done an excellent, excellent job of controlling the Tidehunter in these fights, and the LGD... They might be able to pull together a team fight now that all their ultimates may be up soon, but I think even if they pull it off like well, they don't have enough damage to kill CIS. Like Black has 1,600 HP. Looks like he is going for a BKB next. He's probably going to have an Aegis too, and this will mean that Lycan will not secure Aegis for a very, very long time, and that's where a lot of the strength of the hero comes in.
What does LGD do when a BKB Axe blinks in? They run the hell away. They are not fighting against him. Their physical damage is lackluster, even with the Lycanthrope, and they have no direct answer for BKB.
They just have to split push.
Yeah.
Split push for days.
And they were going to find Lin now top lane. There's an Observer Ward here, spotting him out. Xiaotuji will come in, but there's a Sprout deployed. Now Lin tries to eat his way out, but out comes the Tornado. The EMP's here as well. And Xiaotuji is just going to get blown up by Inflame. Nearly brought down just from that. Now he's Yule Sceptered, and Inflame is on the hunt. They'll secure the Storm kill. The Lycan will live, at least for now, but Axe is hunting him. Axe is chasing him. Black's going to go deep for this one. Lin's ult will wear off, but he races back to the well.
What a nice sequence of spells from Inflame too, like Tornado, EMP, and then he knew that Storm was about to zip away, so he catches him with a blast to make sure that he will take the EMP damage.
He's really been impressive on this Quaswex Invoker, and it's just been a great game from Inflame's. Black has probably stolen most of the glory as the Axe, but I would say Inflame is the clear MVP thus far. And now potentially CIS looking to threaten high ground. Point booster now picked up for somebody, as we see LGD wrap around from the sides. They want to get the jump here on CIS, though it's an Invoker with an Aegis, so the mech carrier, not someone you can focus down.
There's smoke around back, though.
Yeah, they are on the backside here. They've got a Ravage online. There is no Lycan ultimate for this engagement, and out comes the EMP deep behind enemy lines. Still the Tidehunter lurking. Still he's waiting, while Axe slowly chips away at the tower, but the time to go in is quickly running out. Here comes Big Daddy Tide. Will he have enough damage? Global deployed. They can zip it with the Storm here. Try and focus down somebody, but Axe comes in, reserves the BKB, gets up on 3. Hero Berserker's Call. He's on fire. Triple kill from Black. It is the shoes. Slamma Lamma Ding Dong. See ya, DD. We're going to a game 4.
Wow. So CIS, they pull something different, and then they win in 18 minutes. LGD, they just could not handle the Axe at all. And he was ridiculously out of control. They also had a very good draft.
The dream is real, Ben. 3-22.
Wow, what a fan service game.
What a fan service game, says K-Foptosis, and I can't disagree. CIS winning over the hearts and minds of the people with that game.
So I think LGD next game, just simply ban Lycan. Don't pick it. Don't let the other team get it, and that was just the Axe show. And Inflame. Inflame played very well.
That was so well played by Black. Waits for the global, then blinks in, Berserker calls 3, and completely breaks their chain of initiation. I don't think they win that fight anyway, Ben, but they definitely don't win it when he counter-initiates like that.
They shouldn't... I don't know. I don't know what the silencer pick was there. Like, you kind of saw where it was coming from, but where was the damage? Like, Ravage by itself isn't enough damage to begin with. Storm's, like, okay, but they put him in the tri-lane so that he isn't going to get the levels. He got level 6 very, very late, and I think the biggest problem was Silencer got level 6 way, way, way too late.
I didn't really like the Silencer pick that game. On paper, it's good with Storm, but not when they pick Axe Dazzle and you know they're coming for you hard in the tri-lane.
I think they need like a lot of magical damage to deal with it, or just heroes that can easily kite it, like dump a Puck or something in the safe lane and just dodge it instead of trying to do a try-on-try where your supports and your main hero there really needs levels.
Strategically, I think the biggest thing that actually won CIS that game was Prophet just saying, you know what, I'm not going to be tied here, let me go in the tri-lane.
Yes.
He came in 2 or 3 times, they take their early tower. The tri-lane wasn't actually going that well for CIS, but it's the +1 threat that just made Silencer just total food that game.
I agree. I think they need to watch their bans a little bit more. Like the Clockwork ban, like they
was banned pretty early too. I think it was second phase.
Yeah,
no, it was first phase actually. First phase Clockwork ban.
No, it was second.
Was it second?
I think so. It was like Bat and
yeah, it was Lich. Lich got banned in the first.
Yeah,
phase.
so I think that they play really well around the Nature's Prophet too. So I think that CIS should just keep doing what works for them, which is a lot of early aggression. Try and take down LGD before they can actually group up and get to their 5-man ultimates and team fight nonsense.
I gotta say, CIS have backbone, guys. They've got some spunk here. I thought they were cooked after those first 2 games, but we're headed to a game 4. They still have to win 2 in a row against LGD.
Do they have other tricks up their sleeve?
Well, we'll find out soon, guys. You've been watching the International 4 Qualifiers presented by Monster Energy. We'll be right back with game number 4. LGD still leading 2-1.